Have you ever noticed how relationships carry a paradox? On one hand, we long for stability, we long for safety, for predictability. We want a partner we can lean on, a home we can build together, and routines that hold us when life gets tough. Yet, on the other hand, we crave for passion, we crave excitement, adventure, and erotic energy. We want to feel that spark, that thrill of being desired, the mystery that keeps our imagination alive. And here is the dilemma. Those two needs seem to pull in opposite directions. Safety and security tend to grow out of familiarity, while passion and desire thrive on novelty and a little bit of uncertainty. It's almost as if our hearts are asking for two different things at once. Now, if we look back at earlier generations, the solution was often to split these needs between different places or people. Marriage was the place for stability, for family and duty, and passion and adventure were often sought outside. And yes, that's where we see the model that led so many people to infidelity, right? But let's be honest, that model doesn't work anymore. It's a model that is very unfair, is hurtful, and it leaves people feeling divided. The challenge today is different. We are trying to find both in the same relationship. And it's possible. We can build a home with security, with trust and stability. And at the same time, it's possible to keep passion, adventure, and creativity alive with the very same person. But it doesn't just happen on its own. It does require attention and intentionality. So, how do you think we can do it? Well, let's go into break down into some practical tips that I made for you, that I created for today. The tip number 1 is, don't take your partner for granted. Passion fades when we assume that the other person will always be there, no matter what. Desire lives in the space where you still see your partner as someone separate from you. Someone you choose, not just someone you own or you have. And small gestures really help in that sense. For example, dress up for them, send a flirty text, or simply show curiosity about their inner world. The tip number 2 is keep seduction alive. Seduction isn't just for the beginning of a relationship. Seduction is about keeping a playful energy alive. This could be physical, like surprising them with a kiss in the morning, in an unexpected time, or it could be emotional as well, like sharing fantasies or daydreams together. Ask yourself, when was the last time I tried to attract my partner instead of just expecting intimacy to happen? Now I want to talk about the tip number 3. Create novelty and play. Desire feeds on surprise. It doesn't have to mean skydiving or traveling the world. Sometimes it's about cooking a meal you have never tried, planning a spontaneous date night, or even experimenting in the bedroom in a way that feels new. Novelty is less about grand gestures, and more about breaking routine in small ways. Now, the tip number 4 is protect intimacy from routine. Couples often slide into a pattern where all the talk is about logistics, about bills, the kids, schedules. These conversations are necessary, but they can crowd out intimacy. You need to set aside time that isn't just for being parents or partners under the same roof, but for being together as lovers, not housemates or co-managers. That could mean turning off phones during dinner, for example, or having a weekly ritual where you only talk about dreams, about ideas, or, things that inspire you. The tip number 5 is stay curious about each other's life. So long-term couples sometimes believe they already know everything about their partner. So far from reality. People evolves, Your partner today is not the exact same person you met years ago. You need to ask questions that you haven't asked before. What are they secretly passionate about nowadays? What scares them? What do they want to explore? I don't know. Curiosity, it has no end, keeps relationships alive. Tip number 6, balance safety with risk. Remember, security is necessary. It's the foundation of all relationships. But if the only thing you have is security, the relationship risks becoming predictable to the point of boredom. On the flip note, if it's all about passion and no stability, the relationship becomes chaotic. So the art is on holding both in balance, giving each other enough stability to feel safe and enough risk to feel alive. When you put these pieces together, safety and adventure, security and play, you create a relationship that doesn't have to choose one side of the paradox. You get to enjoy the comfort of a deep bond while also keeping desire awake. And here is the important reminder. None of this means something is wrong with you or with your partner if passion has faded. It means that you are human and you are experiencing exactly what long-term couples across the world experience. The good news is desire is something you can nurture back to life. So, don't settle for a relationship that feels flat. And don't believe the old story that marriage has to be boring. With curiosity, with creativity, and a willingness, very important, a willingness to keep playing, you really can have both. The safe home and the passionate fire. If you're struggling with this in your own relationship, if you love your partner, but maybe the spark feels distant, therapy can be a powerful place to explore these dynamics and learn how to bring both safety and desire back into your connection. This is the end, guys. Please subscribe for more insights on love and relationships. And if you want to work with me directly, send me a message to book a session.